with regard to physical warm-ups during lesson time, one of the things to keep in mind is that the customers often have a very limited amount of time each week that they can get on the court and play. So we often have a bit of a mix of coaches that prefer to do a physical warm-up for some students, which, or what I call physical warm-up, would be a non-hitting warm-up, and some coaches prefer just to get straight into coaching and having rackets in hand straight away. So we're actually, in our opinion, both options are okay, but there's probably just a couple of key points just to consider if you decide to do a non-hitting warm-up. The first one is that for coaches that prefer to do a physical warm-up, you want to, if you can, link the warm-up with the theme of the session. So, for example, if players are about to work on ground strokes, you could do a physical warm-up that involves footwork patterns relating to ground strokes. If players are working on volleys, you could do some split step and catching exercises that link in with what you're just about to work on. The second thing is, if you are running a non-hitting warm-up, would be to keep it very short and sharp. So if you do decide to do that, our advice around it is by the 10th minute of the class, is that players have done their non-hitting warm-up, they've had the explanation of the first exercise they're doing, and they've got rackets in hand hitting balls, as I said, by that 10th minute of the class. So you've got to keep them short and sharp. For coaches that prefer to do a ball striking warm-up, there's probably two key points to keep in mind. Number one, encourage players where possible to do a bit of a physical warm-up before the class starts. And the second thing is just make sure if you are getting players straight into a hitting warm-up, that you limit the movement that they in the first couple of activities. So the players are just hitting forehands only in a relatively stationary position, backhands, and then slowly start to increase the amount of movement as the time goes along there. So hopefully that's a bit of a guide for you for whether to decide on to do a non-hitting warm-up or not.